The 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114. Harley-Davidson ditched the Milwaukee-Eight 107 and repowered its Street Bob platform ahead of my 2021 with the powerful Mil-8114 to give it a performance boost over its predecessor. This makes it the least expensive stoplight burner in the 2021 lineup, as well as the lightest big twin to carry the upsized Milwaukee engine. The homejob-custom look is a carryover from last year, but the graphics package is unique to this year model, setting it apart from its peers. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 design. The new Street Bob has a bit of a Frankenstein look about it, with a number of classic custom touches alongside homespun performance measures to complete the package. Right out of the gate, the chrome laces and blackout rims steer the overall look of the Street Bob well into custom territory. Both fenders come heavily bobbed to drop any and all superfluous weight, but it's really all about the custom vibe it adds. A vibe that is reinforced by blackout fork sliders, triple clamp, LED headlight housing, and mini ape handlebar. Bellowed gaiters, mirrors, and bullet turn signal housings finish out the customized, monochromatic treatment up front. LCD instrumentation takes care of business from its very inconspicuous position nestled down in the handlebar riser cap, with LED idiot lights to complete the display. The geometry of the softail frame pairs well with the dated details, though in profile the teardrop fuel tank and solo saddle don't quite meet up, and the separate pillion pad looks like an afterthought for even more custom flavor. Out back, a whacked rear fender carries more blackout bullet-shaped blinker housings with compact light strip for an LED taillight. Since there's no cool way to center mount the tag on this kind of rear end, the factory was obliged to side mount the license holder, show bike style. Nothing was sacred when the custom touches were decided upon. Even the exhaust shielding saw some custom performance touches. The offset shotgun exhaust is covered from the exhaust port in the heads all the way back to the tip of the muffler by an exhaust shield that comes both drilled out for weight loss and shot in blackout paint for a final custom detail. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 chassis. Built around the recently updated softail frame, the Street Bob delivers a balance of tracking, cornering, and comfort it was previously lacking. The new Street Bob 114 is built around the recently updated softail frame that delivers a balance of tracking, cornering, and comfort to address these well-known issues on the original faux rigid frame. Welded, mild tubular steel members make up the double downtube, double cradle frame that completely supports the engine and protects the bottom of the cases as well as the exhaust from curb strikes. At 30 degrees from the vertical, the front end has a nice visible rake to it, but what isn't as conspicuous is the 6.2 inches of trail, so this bike tracks well to be the opposite of squirrely, even at speed. Harley-Davidson series hoops from Dunlop round out the rolling chassis, and a fat 190ths-19 ahead of a fatter 150/80ths-16, both with the white walls turned to the inside. The narrow XL-style front forks are non-adjustable, but are the next best thing with Showa's dual bending valve technology that delivers a demand-driven damping effect for a plusher ride than you'd get from plain vanilla forks. A single, under-seat shock supports the rear end, and it comes with the obligatory spring preload adjuster so you can compensate for changing cargo, passenger loads. Suspension travel measures in at 5.1 inches and 3.4 inches on the front and rear, respectively. At 659 pounds wet, the single front brake is enough to take care of business with its 300mm disc and 4-piston caliper, and out back, a 292mm disc and twin-piston anchor keeps the rear end behind you. ABS is available as optional equipment. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 drivetrain. At 114 cubic inches, the beating heart of the Street Bob comes from the middle of the production Milwaukee-Eight range and is really what makes this a new model for MY2021. Bores were punched out to 102mm and stroke was increased to 114mm to make for a 1868 cc total displacement with a slightly spicier 10.5:1 compression ratio that should tolerate mid-grade fuel without issue. External pushrods actuate the 4 valve heads with self-adjusting hydraulic lifters that deliver low-maintenance operation. Since the factory moved away from the twin-cam engine and into the single-cam Milwaukee-Eight, the nosecone area has returned to the more or less classic shape to give the right side of the Mil-8 a look that's more familiar to longtime fans of the brand. Induction control falls to an FE throttle body that mounts an exposed element air filter to build on the Street Bob's performance chops. As for emissions, the 2x2, offset shotgun, exhaust sports catalysts that burn off any free hydrocarbons and make it into the exhaust steam. While this engine cranks out more grunt than the 107 with 119 pound-feet of torque on tap at 3,000 revolutions per minute, the top speed is still regulated at approximately 110 miles per hour to make this bike quicker than before, but not really faster. Seriously though, if 110 miles per hour ain't fast enough for public roads, I don't know what to tell you. A chain-type primary drive sends engine power to the 6-speed transmission, and a quiet, low-maintenance, carbon-reinforced belt delivers power to the rear wheel. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 price. The 2021 color packages start out much like most HD models, in a base vivid black for $14,999. If you'd prefer the stone-washed white pearl, Baja orange or deadwood green, you can expect to shell out another 4 Benjamins. Across the board, the Street Bob 114 sports a dated graphic that hails back half a century. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 competitors. Showroom customs can be difficult to compare with looks as the primary focus, it just comes with the territory, but I reckon BMW's new R18 Cruiser will appeal to the same sort of buyer, so here we go. BMW R18. The R18 is clean and classy without an ounce wasted on useless weight or vanity items with the exception of the beercan fork skirts up front. Beamer even veers into faux rigid frame country with its own version of the Softail-esque swingarm to give the R18 an undeniable old-school panache. At 27.2 inches off the ground, the R18's saddle rides a skosh higher than the Street Bob seat but still qualifies as low at the end of the day. Bobbed fenders contribute to the bare essential look across the board, and the laced wheels and blackout rims make the crucial custom classic connection. BMW falls behind by a scant 62 cubes with a total displacement of 1,802 cc and a concurrent drop in torque output. It's only a slight drop as Beamer claims 116 pound-feet of torque at 3 grand. Just 3 pounds shy of the Mil-8 and far too little a difference to even be a blip on the old Heine dyno. Beamer's Boxer twin engine is as recognizable as a historical engine design as its Harley competitor, so it adds to the old-school charm of the R18 even if it isn't necessarily a very pretty engine. Traction control. Riding modes and ABS come stock on the R18 to leave the Street Bob 114 in the digital dust and deliver a level of safety that the HD cruisers still can't match. The base model R18 rolls for $17,495 to make it a bit pricier than the Street Bob 114, but it's a fair trade when you consider the higher electronics on the German ride. Read our full review of the BMW R18. He said. While this bike comes as a showroom custom, I also look at it as a blank canvas that is just begging to be personalized. Maybe it's the adorably mismatched equipment that makes it look like a home job, or something more primal knowing that this bike has the quickest 0 to 60 time among the cruiser models. As for the electronics, I have to gig Harley for remaining behind the curve. An offense made more egregious by the fact that the Moco has the technology, it just hasn't trickled down yet is all. She said. My wife and fellow motorcycle rider, Alan Hinton, says, "This bike looks like it's begging to be ridden hard and I'll be happy to oblige." Harley claims it's 9% faster 0 to 60 and 13% faster 60 to 80 than the previous Street Bob. It's a bobber in that it has what you need and nothing in the way of the superfluous. As an affordable offering in the Softail range, the Street Bob is a good entry into Harley's middleweight bikes, heavier than the Sportsters, but not as heavy as the Tour bikes, and now you get it powered by the Mil-8114 for a more thrilling ride. 2021 Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 specifications.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.